we don't just sit back and do nothing. We really try to advise and coach people on insurance.
With the price of insurance and just everything nowadays going up, what is one way for people to lower their insurance premiums?
So
Hello and welcome to another episode of GOALcast. My name is Tawnya Rockwell, Chief Production Manager at Goal Magazine. I am here today with JJ Rettura of Laurel Highlands Insurance Group. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Insurance guy by day. Love the outdoors, hiking, hunting, all the above. Newly engaged.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Dog dad, so that's me.
Yeah. Got any big hunting trips planned here?
I just came back from Montana, so that was fun.
That's exciting.
We go every year. It's elk hunting with a bow, so I absolutely love it.
So JJ's been a part of Goal Magazine for several years now, always giving us valuable tips on insurance, all different stuff about what people should know for business, commercial, auto, all of it. But also, I have to tell you, one of my favorite articles that you've done in Goal was the one about the family tradition and the one with your dad, who you resemble so much. I loved that picture. I loved that whole article. That talked a lot about how the business got started. So if you could just, let everyone know the history of the agency and how it became.
Yeah, so my dad, right out of college, it was the mid-'80s, he was trying to find a job, and he said the last thing that he would do is sell insurance. He went to school for accounting. So being desperate, he ended up coming home and telling my mom, hey, I got a job with Prudential. So about 11 years into it, he was tired from getting up at 7 a.m. and coming home at 11 o'clock at night. I remember it. He decided to go out on his own. So he found an agency in Scottsdale. So that was his first agency that he purchased, went out on his own. After about 2 years there, he had an opportunity to buy an Erie agency in Uniontown. Mm-hmm. So he purchased that, moved to Uniontown, and we've been there ever since. So that was 1995 he started, and today, so we've grown from just him to 15 employees, 3 locations, and it's been one heck of a ride.
Yes, it has been. And you have one in Belle Vernon and Masontown?
Yes, Belle Vernon, Masontown, and Uniontown.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. Wonderful. So what sort of insurance do you write and with who?
Sure. So we write all types of insurance except for health. We primarily do the auto, the home, the business, the life insurance. We primarily focus on the personal lines, and then we also do quite a bit of commercial business insurance. So we're helping folks that anywhere from a one-person shop to we have clients that have a couple hundred employees.
The letters after your name, the designation after your name, what does CIC stand for?
So CIC stands for Certified Insurance Counselor. It's a professional designation recognized throughout the insurance industry. It basically shows that somebody with that designation has outstanding knowledge and commitment to the insurance industry. It's basically like getting your CPA or your doctorate of insurance.
Oh, okay. So what is your key to growing your business?
Well, I think it's multiple different things. So we don't just sit back and do nothing. Mm-hmm. We're pretty competitive. So we like to be hands-on. We're consistently marketing. We're consistently reinvesting back into technology and employees. And it's also in insurance, it's managing risk. So we want to make sure that we have the least amount of risk as possible to produce the minimal amount of claims. Consistent knowledge. So we're always taking continuing education, trying to learn about more products, more coverage, what the industry is doing.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of everything.
A bit of everything.
Yeah.
Cool. What is it like managing the claims in your office? And has there been any claims experiences that have stood out to you?
That's what we're in the business of, is paying claims. We're not just accepting money. We're accepting money in order to pay a claim eventually. We want to try to make sure that we're reviewing accounts, seeing what folks are doing, where problems are. If somebody is having quite a few claims, what we try to do is rehab them back to a profitable state,
Okay.
helping the customer, advising them on what's the best course of action to take to help them in the future.
Was there anything in particular that stands out to you, a particular claim that
Oh man,
I don't know what you can talk about or not, but
we see all sorts of crazy stuff. We have seen massive hailstorms. So 3 years ago, we had a massive hailstorm roll through the Mon Valley, across, moving over into Perryopolis, and it devastated homes. It literally looked like somebody walked up to a home and shot buckshot into it.
Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
windows, siding, animals died. It was just absolutely crazy. The one cool thing about that is that we could see our policies helping people. So that was November 27th. Our main carrier that we work with is Erie Insurance.
Mhm.
They were in there with their catastrophic loss team that night, and they had every single claim adjusted by December 16th.
Wow.
Right. And
Yeah.
while many of our competitors, they were in the area and they didn't have the claims adjusted until mid-February, March.
Some good turnaround.
Right,
Very
exactly.
nice, yeah.
And, we've even been in situations before where somebody's home was burning down and they called us before the fire company. So when we get there, it's sad to see that somebody's home was just lost.
Mhm.
But knowing the fact that we have a policy in force to get them into a hotel for the night, and that we're getting them clothes and helping them with food, and then we're going to help with the reconstruction process, it's nice to know that those people aren't left out on the street.
Yeah.
So, and they're very appreciative of it too.
So what are your long-term goals at the agency?
So one thing, as I was saying before, is we don't just sit back. We're very active agency owners.
Mhm.
We want to continue to grow. We would love to have another location or two in the area. We want to try to keep helping as many people as we possibly can. Insurance is one of those things that everybody hates to pay, but whenever it's there, they're happy
You're
about it.
thankful for it, yeah.
We really try to advise and coach people on insurance.
You probably make people feel very comfortable. You have a very calming way about you.
I try.
You do.
I try.
So what's one piece of advice you wish everyone would take seriously when it comes to insurance?
A lot of people are focused mainly on price, and I absolutely get it. And when they go to look for insurance, they don't pay attention to the coverages and they just take the cheapest price. As far as auto insurance goes, I would definitely make sure that your bodily injury and your property damage limits are sufficient. Typically no less than $100,000, because medical bills and cars are really expensive today. Same thing with homes. Make sure to take out no less than $300,000 worth of liability coverage there, because with the litigious society that we live in today, people are getting sued. Again, medical bills have increased. And also on the home, make sure that the home is covered for replacement cost. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you're getting a depreciated value for the age of the home. You want to make sure that you can just replace it and not have to worry.
All right. So with the price of insurance and just everything nowadays going up, what is a tip that you could give for people to lower their insurance premiums?
So definitely don't start chopping your main policy coverages, your bodily injury limits, your property damage on your auto insurance. Don't start chopping your overall home valuation. The best way to start is to increase deductibles. So any more, if something happens to your vehicle or something happens to your home, typically, if it's under $1,000, you fix it yourself. And honestly, if it's under $2,000, you probably fix it yourself.
Yeah.
So the overall thought is, okay, well, I'll just take $1,000 or $2,000 deductible. And what happens is the higher deductible that you have, the lower the premiums drop because you're taking on more risk. Okay. The other thing that you can do is, whether it's home or auto, is go through and see if there's any sort of maybe extra endorsements or coverages that you maybe don't need, that aren't as important as those main liability limits. So sometimes those extra endorsements, you can remove them and it'll save you a couple $100 a year. The other thing that you can do is shop. I mean, every 3-4 years, go out and look, see if there's anything out there that you could get apples to apples for a lower cost. It's personally, I do it. I mean, not my insurance. It's with one company. It'll stay with one company because that's ours. But, it's important that if you're in this cycle of just staying with one person or one company, that you're just like, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. You just pay it. It comes out of your bank account. I mean, I do it like with my internet. I don't even know what it is and I'm guilty of it. But, it's really right now with the way that everything's going up. I mean, I'm starting to now myself look at all my different bills and say, okay, I like these people, but can I get the same thing somewhere else for less? So it's always healthy to shop.
So do you review insurance policies for people?
Absolutely. So we do thousands of quotes a year. So all somebody needs to do is call in to us. They can email us and we can get them a quote. We have a whole staff of dedicated salespeople, whether it's for business or for personal lines insurance, that does nothing but that. So they gather some information and we can produce a quote pretty quick.
Would you look at someone's policy and say, okay, this is something you may not need. This is something I think that you do need that's not on here. And you do things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So what we try to do is gather people's declarations pages, which is basically the outline of all their insurance coverage that they have. And then we also ask a bunch of questions to try to see if somebody has maybe a certain risk exposure that needs to be covered right. Okay. So for instance, if you only have $3,000 worth of jewelry coverage on your homeowner's insurance, but you have a $20,000 diamond ring, you might need to cover it a little bit differently. So what we try to do is we try to quote things apples to apples first, and then go from there and say, hey, look, here's your apples to apples quote, but this is what you should really have. Okay. So we really try to coach folks on what they should have and why, or if they have too little, too much. So we really try to go through it. And at the end of the day, if somebody really wants a certain coverage, we'll give it to them. But it's our job to make sure that they understand all the risks that they're taking.
Okay, that's great. That's really good. How can people get in touch with you?
So again, they can give us a call. Our phone number at the office is 724-437-2371, or they can email us. I think we're going to drop it there at the bottom of the screen. But honestly, phone calls are the best because we like to talk to people. We like to get to know folks. And it's also, it's faster.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today.
Absolutely.
And educate our followers
absolutely.
On all of this. And thank you for being such a great Goal Magazine supporter. Not only do you contribute to the magazine, your company always supports our golf outing,
absolutely.
benefiting the Greater Latrobe School District, the Life Skills Learning Support and Autistic Support Classrooms, and the Goal Gala, which is coming up in April. I'm so excited.
Yeah. We have a good time, and we love you folks. I mean, honestly, couldn't ask for better partners, and just coming to all the events. It's always a great time.
Thank you so much. I also want to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors for GOALcast, Headspace Media, of course, Brandon over here doing the recording and editing of this film here. We are in Headspace Media's podcast room, which is amazing. I also want to thank Kisiel and Associates for sponsoring, Laurel Highlands Insurance Group sponsoring as well, and SecondHalf Coach Wealth Management. Be sure to follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channels. We're all on there, and thank you so much for joining us.